Hello, everyone, and welcome to A Seat at the Table. Um, Daylight Savings Time. Y'all, it feels so late. I mean, it's 9, but it feels like 2 a.m. I'm not sure if it's just me struggling with this. I don't think so. It feels like 59 o'clock, but we're here, and I'm excited to be back with you guys on our normal topics, our normal way of being. We took a couple of weeks and focused on do what you know how to do, and gave that our attention. And now I'm back talking about whatever you guys want to talk about. So yeah, I know, Colleen. It feels like it. It looks like it. It's just this is tough this time of year. I wish that we could get away from daylight savings time, but um, for now we still have it, so we'll just endure. But I wanted to, like I said, make myself available tonight to answer any questions that people may have, legal questions. I know we have a lot of new table mates that have joined us in the past couple of weeks. And so, I know they may be going, what else happens here besides the book? So I thought I would, just make myself available to answer some questions, and then we'll get kind of back on track with um, covering new topics and having you guys give me some feedback in the group about some of the things you want to hear about in depth. Um, and we'll navigate through the holidays with a little bit of that information. So here I am. While you guys are, if you have any questions, type them in the chat. I'm reading the one on A Seat at the Table. If you're on my page, I am not seeing your comments there. Um, Although I can make an attempt to try to look at all three of them. But if you would type them in the chat inside A Seat at the Table, then I will see them in real time and I can try to answer them. Um, I have um, also been posting some things in the group, and you all have as well. When news stories come up, the other thing we do in this group is when they're legal type news stories, we post them in the group and we discuss them. So if you are new to the group and you see something like that, you can also do that. Feel free. I screen everything because we do have some bots who keep trying to post porn on our group. So I get the displeasure of looking at those screenshots and dumping those off before they hit the group. I do see the comments in my page on both my page and the group. So if you have a question that you'd like answered, um, feel free. One thing I'll go ahead and talk about while we wait or see if there's anything else pending is the Nipsey Hussle estate. Um, Okay, well, I see a question, so let me address that. I'm working on creating my nonprofit. What is the time frame once submitted? So the IRS says it is a 6-month process from the point that the application is submitted. They say it's 180 days. I believe them. I don't do anything faster than anticipated. So from the point that you submit your nonprofit paperwork, you can anticipate that it will take you 6 months to have your letter back that you can provide to donors for nonprofit status. I had this come up with a client too. You are not allowed to state that you're a nonprofit or to take donations as tax deductible until that letter has been issued, because it's not a guarantee that it will be issued. So be very careful that you don't depict yourself on your website or your fundraising place, wherever you're raising funds. Make sure that you don't depict that as the case before it's the case with your nonprofit, because they will be watching and you don't want to lose your status because you have misrepresented yourself. Um, okay, so there's the answer to that. Thank you for that question. All right, going back to Nipsey Hussle, Lauren London, who was not his wife, was his child's mother prior to his passing, has been granted his one half of his estate and control, or a large amount from his estate, and control of one half of the Marathon Clothing company, which I think is wonderful, given that we kind of all know her to be a devoted partner, even though they weren't married, and has kind of just taken the role of a widow in a way for him after his passing. And they've done deals with Puma, and they've done some really outstanding things to keep the brand going. Marathon Clothing Company, as well as expanding it. Yep, TMC. So, really, really, when we see these things, sometimes it's someone who is just money hungry and doing a grab. But in this instance, I feel like it's a woman who really does have his children's best interest, his brand's best interest at heart, and is doing deals that will enhance his brand. I can't use any names yet, but I'm meeting on Thursday with a family in a similar situation with a well-known rap artist who has passed away, but left behind a significantly valuable brand. And they have been referred to me by um, another lawyer, and I'm very much looking forward to speaking with them on Thursday and getting engaged to help them navigate the brand opportunities for their brand. Once we've signed on the dotted line, I'll let y'all know. Y'all know when I have a new client, I'm always letting you all know what they're up to. So you'll definitely be hearing a lot about this client. Hi, Keish. Once we have things locked in, but right now I can only just say it's a very, very well-known deceased rapper and his family who have approached me through another attorney to represent their brand or their father and husband's brand, and want to monetize, want to license, want to do the things that we do here at Taylor and Associates and at Fortress Sports and Media to amplify the brands of legends and icons, and also active NFL players, retired NBA players, whoever. My clients kind of span the gamut. So I'm excited about that opportunity because it is always, as you all know from being here, a passion point of mine in making sure that families preserve wealth. And part of that is creating wealth, because a lot of the rappers didn't um, necessarily leave behind a huge, valuable estate like Nipsey Hussle did. This particular one did leave behind a really good music catalog and a really good reputation. So I feel like the job will not be very, very challenging in that aspect. I even have all these ideas already that I just can't wait to share. Um, the interesting thing is, last week I spoke with another family of a well-known gospel artist. I think that's not the right word to use, but I don't want to be specific enough that you all will know who I'm talking about, because again, I don't like to disclose these things until they're done, and then I'll just tell you all about it, right? But a well-known gospel music icon, and his family, and they were referred to me again by another attorney, a table mate actually, and we had a good conversation as well about what we can do going forward to preserve the copyrights in the music and the brand and monetize that, and make sure that newer generations are aware of that person's contribution to gospel music. So I was like, okay, I went from legendary gospel composer to rapper, and I'm excited about both because um, I like gospel and I like rap, so why not? And I think that we can do some really big things for both of those brands. So I look forward to getting those families on board and then being free to talk to you guys about it, because I like to have you watch the process. With Maria Taylor, who I've been representing now for a year and a half, I've tried to let you in on the process to watch her move through the things that we're implementing and to watch her brand elevate as we implement those. We're going to be on a little bit of a pause with her brand because she's, like 8 months pregnant at this point, and I'm very grateful for that. That's wonderful for her and her husband, but giving her a little bit of a chill moment to be mommy and nest, and also host two of the most popular shows on television on Saturday, College Countdown on NBC, and then Sunday Football Night in America, the precursor to Sunday Night Football on NBC. So, um, that's plenty for her at this stage of the game. Um, and, you guys have known me for a long time. You've been along for the Dr. J ride over 12, 13 years now, just watching that ebb and flow in the book and the movie and the bestseller and the Emmy and everything that we accomplished. And another wonderful client, William Murphy, has a new album coming out. He's recording that live at the end of the month. So that's been really fun working through. This is his first independent release, not on a major record label. So we are acting as the label and doing all of the things that the label does for him. And that is exciting too. Bring my music industry stuff back up to you know, present day and get involved with releasing an album and all the legal stuff associated with that. So I have a lot of exciting things going on. And I'm grateful to God for just keeping this. I used to say keeping the phone ringing, but the phone doesn't really ring anymore. It's like a text or something or a message. I am also obviously still pressing forward with everybody's trademarks that is filed with me. We're in a season where a lot of them are about to come up because we filed a lot of them in June and July after the Free Health Conference in Miami. So those will be coming kind of fast and furious here soon, and I'm looking forward to that as well. And I am going to make it easier to get in touch with me. I realize it's a little difficult. That's by design. But I am at a point where it's more difficult for me to make it difficult than to just make it easy. So I'll be creating a pin post on my Facebook and revamping my website to allow you to be able to go in and book appointments without having to find me and get permission and access to the ability to book appointments. I think that is probably the best thing at this point, to just allow people to book the appointments directly, um, and not make it an extra step for me to deal with. So, yeah, so those are kind of like my updates on my end. The book is doing really well. The feedback, and I'm waiting on y'all. I'm just talking to y'all. Ask a question. Um, the feedback has really, really just been so touching. I don't know how many copies have sold. I don't even look. That's not why I wrote it, to worry about the numbers. I'm focused on the text messages and the messages and the calls I get that say, I did not know how bad I needed this story, this book, or this has touched me. Like that, every day somebody reaches out. And that is so rewarding because that's why I did it, as we've discussed, and it hasn't stopped. I'm just bringing it back up to say that every day somebody reaching out with a picture of their book, or they're sitting there, in tears, or um, whatever about the book is moving them, they have not stopped coming. That is still happening, and I am so grateful because it was a lot emotionally, and I would not have done it but for the reason that it's giving you guys another face to say it's not just me. I'm not crazy. My family's not crazy. I'm not alone. Um, there's nothing wrong with the way that we are processing what we're going through, or um, it's making me address my um, feelings that I never addressed, that I pushed down. These are just the kind of comments I get. I gave it to my coworker and they read it and it's blessed them, and they don't even know you. And it's been said that, and I believe it, that this book will reach people that don't know me. That's the idea. So, I claim I received that. We have another great question here. For self-published, what legal advice can you share to protect the author in the book? Colleen, that's a wonderful question. Um, Obviously, the copyright, I posted it in the group when I filed the copyright on my book. I think I did it the day before um, the release. So I've walked you all through here in the group, and there's a pin post on how you can copyright your work. Um, the works, when you've fixed something in a medium, written it down, sang it, recorded it, painted the artwork, whatever, it's automatically you own the copyright. But in order to have any protection, in order to have any enforcement, if someone does steal your work, you have to file, you want to register it with the Copyright Office, United States Copyright Office, so that you have them saying, hey, on this date, this person had this thing fixed in a medium, and whoever you are, we don't know you, so you are violating their copyright, and then you have the right to do the things you want to do, which is to stop them from stealing your ideas and your items. So I do those for people. I also have taught people in this group how to do them for yourself. I don't have a preference as long as you do it right. I really want you to get your protection. It's not the most expensive thing in the world. You can do multiple things at one time. And but if you're not comfortable and you need to hire me to do it, I'm happy to do it. I just also know that you can do it yourself. So I provided the class in here on how to go about that. Um, all right, that's a great question. Well, we have another comment. The book is life changing. Thank you so much. I've quoted you so many times in conversation. I was speaking with someone else, Felicia, who was saying she was going through she's going through a trying time with her one of her parents who is in the hospital, and she's using the phrase "do what you know how to do" to push herself through her day, and I'm just so grateful. Um, you know, that's just all I can say is I'm so grateful. I'm working on the workbook. My son is me. I don't know what he's going to come with. I'm leaving that to him. And I'm sorry, my energy is so low, y'all. It's so late. It feels so late. I'm leaving that to him to have, the carte blanche to give himself room to explore whatever his thoughts are. I have a couple of surprises involved with the workbook. I'm not going to say what they are yet because I don't want to um, pigeonhole myself into anything right now. But I definitely, from the feedback I've gotten about the book, I feel like the workbook is going to be a blessing to so many because I'm creating these not little, but these exercises that will help you work through some of the things that are coming up after having read the book. Um, and I know that the hard copies have not come yet. They are set to arrive November 20th. And so the workbook will hopefully be right around that same time. Um, It's gonna be paperback only because we don't need a hard copy of we don't need a bound hardback workbook, and we can kind of really just get in there. And if I can make it ring bound, I'm gonna do that actually. So that you guys can just kind of, you and I both, all of us can just kind of keep it and work with it together. And we'll do some courses on it. It'll be a lot of individual work, just some from to give you a feel for what it's going to be, the epilogue, how I'll walk through my offering on how you can help move yourself through um, those their exercises that I'm building out of those suggestions. So that some can be done as a family, some can be done individually. My son's contribution will hopefully help the children of um, parents who've passed on or children who've had a loss. He's 16, but he's really 50. So, um, I really look forward to what he comes up with. And it'll be great for book clubs. I will be having in person readings. This is not something I'm just throwing out there and abandoning. I plan on giving it period. So I plan on having in person gatherings, some here at my home, depending on for certain groups of people that are close enough for that in different cities. The seat at the table, the concept in the beginning, which we are approaching a year, you guys, in February, was that I would move around and we would have a literal seat at the table in different cities and spend time together. And so I'm still planning on doing that. Nothing has changed there. And so we can also do group um, conversations about the book in that same vein. So I'm really looking forward to that because what we were able to do on Zoom on the launch night was just so powerful. And I feel like so many people um, benefited from that. And it will just be even better if we are in person and we can, hug and support each other physically. I have a saying in contemplating trademarking. Should I copyright in the meantime? No, Felicia, you should trademark it. But copyrights are for artistic expression, books, photographs, paintings, songs, movies, scripts, content, um, coaching content, things like that. And trademarks are for um, phrases or logos or names that are used to commercially advertise a product. So, if your saying is, I'm trying to think of a saying. There have been a few sayings, like Coach Prime, right? We posted all the articles about Coach Prime. Um, Coach Prime, that saying. He would trademark that because he's going to use that to commercially sell products under the brand or under the moniker Coach Prime, as opposed to that being a book that he's writing. If he writes a book called Coach Prime, then the content in the book could be copywritten. So that's kind of the difference. Um, that's also why the price difference is my trademarks aren't very expensive. I do that on purpose so that more people can access it. It honestly doesn't. It takes a long time for me to do the work in that it's an 18-month process, but it doesn't take a long time for me to do the work in that I know what I'm doing. So I can kind of balance it in that pricing to not be on the high end, to be more on the more reasonable end at $12.50 plus the fees due to the court to the USPTO, just to make it more accessible. And I've been so happy. I think I found like 80 of them in the past year from my community. Every single person that's filed them, I know, I've known them or come across them on Facebook. So that's 80 people that would not have protected their intellectual property if I hadn't been on here talking about it, because some of them had tried to do it before and didn't understand how to do it, got lost, messed it up, got frustrated. That's fine. That's cool. Um, and said, okay, it's worth it for me to hire somebody to do this for me. Um, so I'm very pleased with that. That is very rewarding to me as well. Um, it really is. It really is. I'm not really a lawyer that likes to just like sit in the office and do some corporate paper pushing. I really like impacting at this stage of my life, like impacting people in a positive way. So when I see these brands get these trademarks, it's like I'm excited. Like it's my stuff. Yes, it's one phrase per trademark file. This is a question that we have. But we do this little trick where if you have a logo, all right, like this shirt says a seat at the table. So this is the logo. Angela made this graphic for me. I'm not trademarking this because it's not trademarkable. It's already taken. But I'm also not selling a seat at the table, so it's okay. Um, it's free. But let's for our hypothetical say that this is what I'm trademarking, a seat at the table. And my logo also says a seat at the table, then I can trademark both the logo, this phrasing and the colors, and the word in one filing. And so I can get like a buy one, get one free that way. So as you're developing your logos, if you want to have additional words in your logo that aren't your name that you're looking to trademark, you're going to limit yourself and have to file two different trademark applications. And that's fine if that's what you need to do. If you don't have any words at all on your logo, like I have one client, Lockjaw. Lockjaw is one filing, and then their logo is a bulldog face. And so we couldn't do the buy one, get one free with that because the logo doesn't say Lockjaw and the bulldog face doesn't have words with it. So we did two filings, and that's fine. Just cost them double, but they'll get much more out of it than not. Um, so yeah, if your logo and your trademark are identical in wording, then we can work that out. And when I do the consultation, I'll walk you through that. And if you don't have it like that, then we'll give you some time to go back and change it if you'd like to. Once you've gotten the legal advice from us on how you can pull that off with your specific logo. All right. Thank you for your wonderful questions, Colleen. Appreciate it. It's funny. People always say people love to inbox me in the middle of the night. Can you call me? I need to ask you a question. And I don't do that. I'm not going to call you so you can ask me a question. But when I sit here live on Facebook for an hour saying, hey, I'll answer questions, I don't see those people, which is why I don't feel bad when I don't call them and answer their question. Like, I'm not going to call you to answer your free question, but I will be here so that everybody can get the information. Because I know if I call you, it's not going to be a question. It's going to be a series of questions. I know that. I've been doing this long enough to know that. Two, you're going to just pick my brain and then go off and maybe misrepresent what I said because it was on a phone call and you weren't taking notes. This is recorded. Anybody can go back and review exactly what I said, make sure that what you're saying matches what I'm saying. And obviously, if I do something in writing, then we've got that in writing. But me calling you whose phone number I don't have and there's no prior conversation prior to you saying, hey, I know it's Saturday night. Can you call me? I need to ask you a question. That's never going to happen. I'm not going to do that for the reasons I just mentioned. So this is where I answer questions. This is where I share. And this is where I try to help people navigate the law and the legal world. And I appreciate you, Colleen, and Felicia and everybody else who's in here for engaging with me on it. I know we're all sleepy. I'm not going to drag this out to 10 o'clock unless we have engagement that we need to. Here's another question. Where can you find if a parent rights were terminated in a divorce decree? Well, you'd have to be looking in the decree. You'd have to have access to the divorce decree. So unless you are a party to that divorce, you probably won't have access to that. But parental rights would have been terminated in the decree or in a proceeding prior to the final decree. So that is nothing that's going to be blurry. That's going to be very clear in an order from the court to let if somebody's parental rights. And there's a rabbit hole to go down there, right? But now you're talking about child support is also, probably going to be terminated. It just depends on what's going on. But the short answer is in the divorce decree, it will let you know if the parental rights have been terminated or in an order prior to the final decree being issued on a hearing determining the parental rights. Yep, Felicia, I'm sleepy. I know I sound sleepy. I sound just blah. I apologize for that. But this time of year, the good thing is you get the extra hour in the morning, but child, the nighttime and I'm a person that sits up till 3 a.m. working. And I'm gonna go do some work when I get off here. I just have some things that I need to do. But it's a struggle when it gets dark at like noon. um, but it's wonderful that my son is not going outside in the dark to get on the school bus in the morning. So, you take the bitter with the sweet. Okay, so Colleen said she'll look at hers and share it in the group and highlight the area. Fine, as long as you redact, Colleen, and if you need me to help you do that, I want you to redact any personally identifiable information to protect yourself. Or, yeah, that's what I'd want you to do. So don't knock yourself out. Each one will also be different. So there's really no consistency with that. Yeah, I'm a night owl. This is for the birds. It's messed me up. Yeah, it's just an hour, but it feels like 6. So unless there's something else, I'm gonna not hold you guys. I appreciate you for showing up, and we got a couple of good questions in, and hopefully you were helped. I am going to also be always open to you giving me topics that you want to hear about in the group. I know as the holidays approach, we'll slow down a little bit and everybody kind of get some family mode, myself included. And that's fine. We don't really have rules here. It's free. It's a family. We've been growing. We are at 2,100 members now. which is outstanding. I love it. And we got a lot of new friends at the table following our discussion about name, image, and likeness deals in college and high school. So that is really good because that means that a lot of people got that information. And again, like I said, that's my purpose, is to get the information out. Jada's happy. She said, Mom, you can drive me to school in the daylight. Girl, I don't care about that. You're going to school anyway. I know, right? Exactly. My son tried it this morning. They didn't have school on Monday, and then he didn't have school. He didn't go. I didn't make him go to school Friday, which was the 4th anniversary of my late husband's passing. We spent the day together instead. Plus, I'd had a week from a nightmare week with my long story. Anyway, so he hadn't been to school since Thursday. He had a little sniffle when I got back from Kentucky last week. It never was more than a little sniffle, but when I tell you this morning, he acted like he was needing to be put on a ventilator. This congestion just won't let up. I need to stay home another day. Boy, if you don't get your here's some here's some Theraflu. Bye bye now. So, um, I'm gonna go and give him some more in a little bit because I don't want to hear it in the morning either. But yeah, there's definitely something going around. Everybody be careful. I have bought masks again. I have masks. I don't have a problem putting them on. Don't be shy about that. Yes, Tanya, recovering from homecoming 2023. That was, you know, something. I had a really good time, and I'm really tired. And then this time change comes along right at the same time. So that's okay though. It's a man thing, Joe. What, to lie and pretend you're sick? And it's not that he wasn't sick, but he wasn't so sick. He wasn't sick Monday, any more sick Tuesday than he was Monday and Friday. And he forgot that he spent the whole day with me Monday and Friday. And I might have seen him blow his nose a couple times. So didn't work. 6:45 games. I'm not playing games 6:45 in the morning. Thank you for being so insightful and informative. Thank you, Keish. I appreciate it. Um, so I'm gonna head out of here and get started with some of the work that I need to get done. And because these are my hours, even with this daylight savings time, I'm gonna reclaim my time. This is my time that I can get things done is in the evening. Those of you who are my clients, you know that you get emails from me all times of the night, all night long. That's when I really am in my zone. So I'm going to get some work done. I appreciate the engagement and the questions tonight. This will, of course, stay up. So if anybody missed it and there's something that they wanted to hear about, they can do that. That's not a problem. And yeah, that's what I got. So I appreciate the table mates for showing up tonight. Everyone have a blessed night. Mask up if you need to. Don't be ashamed. Wash your hands. Be vigilant. There's a lot of really bad sickness out there in this world right now. With my daughter, when I went up there on a midnight mission, really, really ill and was in the hospital, they couldn't find anything actually wrong with her as far as the flu, COVID, pneumonia. It was not, she was really ill. So there's something else going on. And we need to be vigilant and aware of that. And if you need to wear a mask to protect yourself, feel free. I certainly will. And we'll keep everybody happy and safe. All right. So I'll see you guys next time. I appreciate your engagement. Keep the articles coming in the group when you see something that relates to our topics or law in general. And let's just keep the table moving. All right. Have a great night.